Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a triple shadow team for the current Hisui Cup. This is going to be an interesting team here with the Shadow Magnezone, the Say-Swap of the Gliscor, which honestly is one of the coolest Say-Swaps in this meta. There are only of course Ice-type Pokemon which would be counters for it, but yeah, they are not really that common. Generally speaking, there's one Pokemon I'm a bit scared with this team, which I don't really expect to see that often, which is Mamoswine, which makes sense that I'm scared with the team that I have here. But again, Mamoswine is most ideal Pokemon that most people don't have built or also don't really want to build. But yeah, let's take a look at this team. This team makes a lot of sense on paper, and so I wanted to give it a try, especially as Magnezone is a bit of an underrated pick, I feel like, in this kind of current meta, as I don't really see a lot of people talking about it. But as we will see here right now, we're going to be able to go for that Wild Charge, get the KO, and in the back is going to be that Gastron, which we want to counter with our backline. We have a fantastic lead here. We're going to have the Empoleon against our Magnezone, but while I thought it was a fantastic lead, they're actually running the fast move of Waterfall instead of Metal Claw, which is more recommended, so it does a little bit more damage and actually gets me kind of low there, but I expected a potential Gastron in the back, and so I swap out straight away in order to catch them off guard. The thing is here, they are very likely going to run a Water Pulse, which is going to be a super effective hit against us, but I also know that my other Pokemon is going to be a bit more interesting. So yeah, we're going to be able to now go ahead and go into our Drifblim, which is going to be the better counter against the opponent here. In comes the Bastion, and I do think I'm going to be in a very solid spot, as I will be able to go for a Shadow Ball here, which is going to do a ton of damage. So we're still going to have 2 Wild Charges stored here against the opponent, and this is hopefully going to be enough now to get the KO against them, but I'm not too sure if this is actually going to work. So Wild Charge is coming through. This is going to allow us to get a lot of damage onto them, but it's not enough for the KO, and so we're forced to use a shield here. And now it depends on if we're going to be able to get to the Shadow Ball in time, or we guarantee win the CMP tie against the Gastron. We have more attack, and we are lagging a turn, which wins the opponent the battle. Lovely. Yeah, like we have basically I think 6 or 7 more attack, unless I think it was like a 15-0-0 attack gas, and we always should be able to win the CMP tie as far as I know. If I'm wrong, let me know down below. I do think it was because I lagged the turn, but that doesn't really matter. It is what it is. We're going to see here the Drifblim against our Gliscor, which is going to be alright, as we can now take advantage of the opponent by going into our Volt Switch Magnezone and getting only 2 fast moves in. I want to get, like, before the opponent gets a charge move, I actually want to get the KO before they can go for anything. So now it's down to us against Hippowdon. Again, that's going to be a very interesting matchup. We're going to do some solid damage here, and as we will see, we're going to be able to go for the Icy Wind against the opponent. This is going to allow us to get the shield from the Dusknoir, but they make a big mistake by going for that own charge move. If they just went for the full farm down, they would have been able to just knock me out straight away. But because they went for that extra one, it is going to be very interesting that we are going to be able to get the debuff onto them. The attack is going to drop, and we're going to get them kind of low. Is a Wild Charge double resisted enough to knock them out? It's a Shadow version here coming against the opponent's Hippowdon, but they survived with like 2 HP left. And we barely miss out on the KO here. Very close, very unfortunate, but for getting kind of hard wall, I'm kind of happy with how the game went ahead. So, this is going to be the next opponent, where we're going to have the Drapion. This is usually a very solid matchup, as you're going to be able to do a lot of fast move pressure here, which the opponent has none of it, as they have a double resisted poison sting coming your way. And we're going to have the option to drop the opponent's attack in the meantime as well with Mirror Shot, which we were able to do here. And so this is going to be kind of great for us, as we can go ahead and let the move go. This is going to be the crunch coming through, and we will be able to go for another charge move here, which is going to work out super well for us. Mirror Shot is going to get the KO. And in comes Drifblim. We got some damage on them, but we can also use our own Drifblim to go for the full farm down against the opponent here, as we can use a shield in order to go for the full hex down. Ice Wind is coming through, and we're gonna swap out into the Vespiquen. Vespiquen, again, a very cool Pokemon. I made already a video towards this Pokemon on this channel here. Should be out already at this point. Definitely give it a try if you haven't done that yet. But as we will see here, the opponent is going to be able to go for a Power Gem during some yeah, alright damage there. We're gonna be able to go for another charge move here. This is going to allow us to get the KO against the opponent, and they're forced to still go for a charge move against me if they want to win this matchup, but they don't. And so the Aerial Ace is going to be here to get the KO, and so we can move on to the next opponent. So let's take a look here at the next opponent. It's going to be the Drifblim coming in. We're going to be able to go for the Aerial Ace as, yeah, we are going to be able to get the shield from the opponent. That's kind of interesting, as you're going to have a very good answer still in the lead, so I'm going to let this move go. I could even go for the full farm down against the opponent, leaving me with like 2 wild charges stored. Do I go for that? Let's find out here. I am going to go for it. I'm going to go for a shield here, and it's going to be very likely just the Icy Wind. But as we will see, we can go for the full farm down, get the KO, and in comes now, of course, the opponent's other Pokemon, but we can swap out straight away into our own Drifblim. The Heatran comes back in, and we are going to be in a very interesting spot here. Heatran, very interesting Pokemon generally. Magma Storm is going to connect here, but we're going to have still the Icy Wind against the Gliscor, and I think we win this battle here now. I don't think there's anything the opponent can do to win this battle now, because unless they have, no, even a Nice Touch doesn't knock me out here, so they have to go for 2 charge moves against me. I have 2 wild charges stored, and with the fast move pressure here, we definitely would have got them into wild charge range, but because they decide to not go for their own charge move again, I'm gonna be able to get the KO first, go for the wild charge, and just nuke them here. This triple Shadow team works out super, super well. As we are going to be able to move on to the next opponent, where we will see the Drapion against us again in the lead. And honestly, this team works out super well against the current meta. This is going to be totally alright for us. We are going to be able to get the shield from the opponent. We don't get the debuff here onto the opponent, but it's also going to be a normal Drapion, so fast move pressure isn't as crazy, but also their charge move pressure isn't as crazy. But they got the lucky 20% chance of dropping my defense, which kind of hurts, especially as they got it twice. That is, I think, a 4% chance of getting it back to back. That is lovely. But yeah, we're going to be able to go for another mirror shot here, and we're going to get the KO with the Gliscor, actually, so with 1 HP. And so we still have all our Pokemon left. We are not aligned, but that is alright still, because we have 2 alright answers against the opponent's Drifblim. And what we can do as well is we can go for 1 Aerial Ace here, and I'm not too sure if they know when I get to my next one, because they definitely don't know, as they're going to be able to go for another charge move here. This is going to get them very, very low. It doesn't get the KO, but it is going to get them super low, but they have that bummer snow in the back, and so I'm forced to go into my Magnezone, and I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to win this battle now, especially as they're going to go for the Icy Wind. I don't like the Icy Wind. And I hope they're just going to knock me out straight away, so I was able to clear the debuff and then go for back-to-back mirror shots against the opponent. That is my play here. So I'm going to go for 2 more fast moves. Hope that I have 2 mirror shots. I do have 2 mirror shots. This should be a win here, I think. We are going to be able to get the KO, and we can get to another move, and this should be enough to knock out the Drifblim as well. And so that is going to be it for this one. Good game to the opponent. So, let's see what we're going to have next. You're going to have a Magnezone mirror matchup in the lead. That is going to be a very interesting one here. As we will see, we are going to go for the bait, and they're going to fall for it, which is lovely. And I'm not going to go for the shield here. I think they're going to bait me, and I'm going to stand on that one. And it is going to be the mirror shot. So I can go for the wild charge, but they're going to swap out HG into the Gastron, trying to snipe me. But because I'm not debuffed, HG still survived. I have still my wild charge stored. And this can be completely, yeah, changing the entire game now. As we see as well, they don't actually have the correct move. I decided to use a shield here just in case, but yeah, this is going to be alright for us. We're going to have 100 energy, which is going to be lovely. As we will see here, we're going to have the shield coming in. This is going to be alright. Mirror shots coming in as well. We're going to be able to go for the Shadow Ball and try to get the KO, which is going to be cool, as we will see here the Dusknoir coming in. This is going to be alright as well. This is going to allow us to get the shield, and we can go for the wild charge, and they didn't even see my final Pokemon before they're going to go down, because it's going to one-shot, which is absolutely massive. So, next one. We see me struggling here with doing the correct choice. I decided to go into the wrong Pokemon here. If I see Mamoswine, I either stay in, or I go into the Drifblim. I'm not going to go into the Pokemon that's double super effective there. Yeah, so like that was a mistake, definitely. I can still go for the full farm down, but this already sets me, of course, way back in terms of where the battle is currently going. I'm shields down, I have not the alignment that I need to have, and yeah, this is just not really looking too well for us, as we're gonna be able to go ahead and go for a charge move here. This is going to be the, yeah, mirror shot coming in. that is going to be alright. And in comes the Gastrodon, which I expected with the Say-Swap of the Mamoswine. Very cool team though, I like that team. I do think this team is kind of something that I maybe even want to try out myself. I think it's cool, but yeah, this makes just a lot of sense here. Mamoswine is a cool Pokemon to pressure teams, especially teams that I built recently. They're all kind of weak to it. So yeah, maybe Mamoswine might be something for another video as well. Here we will see the Licky on the next matchup though. And let me see if I'm gonna go for the bait or not. I should just go straight Wild Charge. Please go straight. Oh, thank God, I'm going straight for the Wild Charge here. This is the way to go. Let's see what we can do here next. It is going to be the opponent going to their Drifblim. That's alright, I guess. Drifblim here is going to allow us to get some area ace off. They were very likely going to go for the charge move here before, but I might just take the opportunity to let this move go and try to go for the full farm down with my other Pokemon. Which one do I go into? I'm going to go into my Magnezone. I'm actually forced to go for a charge move here in order to really knock them out. I do think they would have got to another charge move in time otherwise, and I don't really want to give that to them. And so here we will see the Mirror Shot coming in against the opponent's Gastrodon. I try to debuff them, but it doesn't matter. I win no matter what. But yeah, Mamoswine, very interesting Pokemon. Very cool Pokemon for sure. It's kind of funny that this Pokemon is now such a good one in this meta. Anyway, we will face off now against the opponent's Dusknoir. Shadow Punch is coming through, but I'm not too threatened by it. I'm gonna be able to go for the charge move here against the opponent. The Mirror Shot is coming through, and we're not gonna get the KO, but we can snipe them with that free fast moves from my Gallade, as we're gonna get out a Pokemon that's weak to the fast moves here. And we have two Pokemon that have super effective fast moves against the Samurott, but of course I want to go for the Icy Wind, which does double super effective damage, and as we will see, I will go for the shield, and I'm gonna be able to go ahead and go for another charge move against the opponent here. As we will see here as well, we're gonna have the Drapion coming in, and that's going to be a very tough matchup. This is going to be super tough, because I need to somehow get a little bit more damage onto them, but also they still have that shield left there, and so I'm gonna catch the move, which was absolutely needed in order to have any chance of winning this battle, like literally must have here basically that I catch the move. They're gonna go for the crunch, and they're gonna go for perfect timing as well, so well done there. But as we will see, we're gonna try to pressure them. They don't do fast move pressure against the Magnezone, but can we still farm them down? We cannot, and that is kind of unfortunate here, but well played by the opponent. Let's move on to the next one, where we will find a Pokemon that's going to be a bit more tough for us to deal with. Let's take a look here at the Gallade, which is going to do some solid damage against us, but they're going to swap out into the Drapion here, and I decided to let the move go because Gallade is kind of alright for my other Pokemon as well still, so like I'm not really too worried here. I have a bit of energy advantage here as well on my Magnezone, so I can just one-shot them if I really want to. And let's see on how this is going to go for me. We're going to get the KO against the opponent, and let's see what's coming in. It's going to be the Gallade, as I will be able to reach the Mirror Shot in time, which is absolutely fantastic. This is going to allow us to get the not KO, but we're gonna see the Electrode coming in. We're gonna be able to go for the Icy Wind now against the opponent, but as we will see as well, the opponent is taking so much fast move pressure for me that as long as I can realign myself, which I will be able to do, I am going to be alright here. I will be able to just go ahead and get the KO with a farm down, and this is going to be kind of it for the battle. I will be able to win this one again here, as we can go for the farm down against them, as this doesn't knock us out, even though it's a Leaf Blade and it's a hard-hitting move, but that's going to be alright. Next up, we are going to be able to, go ahead and go into the Magnezone up against the opponent's Licky. Licky again is going to be an interesting team there. Will be very nice for us to go for the harder hitting charge move, but they called the bait for me, which is kind of unfortunate, and now I have to go for the Wild Charge still to knock them out. And let's see on how things gonna go here. We're gonna be able to go for the Wild Charge, we're gonna get the KO, and as we will see, we're gonna be able to swap out now into our Gliscor. I'm a bit worried about the water type damage. Let's see on how this is gonna go. It's gonna be the Body Slam coming in though. That's gonna be alright for us, as now the Drifblim has to take at least one aerial ace, maybe even two, which is going to be interesting. And so here we are going to be able to now go for another charge move. This is totally alright for us. We're gonna get some nice damage in, and as we will see, we can go ahead and go for the no shield, take the hit, Shadow Walls coming through, and we can go for the full farm with our own Drifblim in order to get some energy for the matchup against the Gastron. And as we know already, this matchup is so great for us, and especially with the Icy Wind coming in now, getting the debuff onto the opponent, there's nothing they can do. We can use a shield here just in case it's going to be the Water Pulse doing some solid damage, just the Body Slam, and this is going to be game. This is going to be a very solid team for you to run. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you then. Bye bye.